the Kenrith because it's 2 triggers and we can haste it out. So I decide, let's play the Warboss. Let's play Raise the Alarm. And I don't know, why don't we give everything haste and trample? And the opponent scoops it up. I get 3 triggers. We have an Agent of Treachery we just drew, which is unfortunate, but we get 3 triggers here, so let's see how this works. Mentor on the Goblin. Trigger 1, Agent of Treachery. That Castle Ardenvale looking mighty fine. Can we have another? They float through white mana, not a big deal. Trigger 2 is a Whiff, Whiffosaurus Rex over here, but Trigger 3 is another Agent. No lands for you! They don't need no stinking lands. So... hey y'all, real quick before we start here, we have a giveaway. I posted about it on YouTube here, but I figured just in case y'all missed it, giving away 1 Ikoria Collector Booster Pack. I know nothing crazy here, but I just want to give something back to y'all for all the support you gave. All you got to do to enter, super and simple, just go to twitter.com/TitansFan920. We have this thread that's pinned on my profile here. You can just comment, just saying your sub. That's literally all it is. Otherwise, you know, I'll like it. We'll put your name on the list here, do a live drawing for it. And hey, it's a quick, easy way to possibly win an Ikoria Collector Booster Pack. Get you some of those snazzy, jazzy, faux plazzy comic book cards. Just go enter twitter.com/TitansFan920. Let's go. How's it going, y'all? TitansFan920. Today we're back at us for MTGA standard action. This time we're playing a little bit Jeskai Winota. Just pretend like I didn't do that. Anyway, Jeskai Winota. If anybody who doesn't know Winota, join our forces here. Get you big triggers anytime you attack with a non-human creature. Look at the top 6 cards of your library. Put a human creature from among them on the battlefield attacking. So the whole reason we're going Jeskai here is because you want to be taking some Agent of Treacheries down. So that, you know, you play your things like Raise the Alarm on 2 here. You have your Legion Warboss, your Chandra, your Bonecrusher Giants here on 3. So that way, hopefully on 4, when you drop your Winota, you're just Agent of Treacherying. It's very possible on turn 4 you can just take people's lands, like all of them. So the fail rate on this deck can be pretty high, but when you get to go off and do your things, it's really explosive. And a lot of times people get really scared and they're trying to answer the Winota, and if they do, you kind of just beat them down with Legion Warboss and Chandra because they're holding up removal for Winota. So it's a really interesting dynamic this deck has. So it's pretty linear though is the only thing. It's got its game plan, it does what it wants to do, and sometimes like if you need to game with interaction, this deck kind of sucks. But when it gets to do its thing, it's a lot of fun and really explosive. Sideboard wise here, where the interaction actually is, we have 2 Redcap Melee, 3 Aether Gust, 2 Disdainful Stroke, 3 Scorching Dragonfire, 3 Mystical Dispute, and a spicy 2 of Cub Warden. All those mono Red Obosh decks that pop up here, 3/5 is a good body, and creating a 3/5 with 2 1/1 lifelinkers there, not too shabby. So we're going to take this to ranked, see how it goes. Let's go. Alright, first game of the day here is against Sight. Say what? So again, this is post-commentary here. I'm not playing this live right now. I just didn't do vocals when I did this first time. So here we go. We start off on the play here. Keep a 5-lander, but we have a Chandra into Winota. So it's pretty good. As we talked about in the beginning of the video, this deck's pretty linear and just does its own thing. So you're not really looking for much interaction here. Honestly, if you have a hand that makes Winota triggers and a Winota, you usually keep that. So we're playing against some mono Red Obosh here. Turn 3, we'll go ahead and slam a Chandra down. And Chandra's kind of weird against them because they can attack it down real easy. And they have 2 mana left open, so I assume they have a Stomp here. So we put a loyalty counter on this to get the Chandra up to 5. Because if they had a Stomp or a Shock, they could shock this, get it down to 2, and then they could attack it with Scorch Spitter. So they Bonecrusher face instead. So I'm wondering if they're going to attack down Chandra at all here with the Scorch Spitter, or just try to, you know, go wild and attack her face and doing mono red things. So let's see what they do here. I know when they first put that Stomp on her face here, I thought they still had a way to take care of Chandra, because I would assume they know what they're playing against. So they go Heraldic Banner here, so this way they can attack Chandra for 2, ping it for 1, and they could, if they have a shock, they could also shock here. They kind of ignore it though, go to the face again, gets down to 11. So I got a shock. If you notice, all my lands here coming in are shock lands. That's kind of rough. But Winota, we make 2 elementals here, and there's a pause. So it looks like they have a shock in hand, which is kind of odd because again, they could have killed the Chandra if they needed to, but that is what it is. So see what opponent decides to do here. They shock one of our elemental tokens. You love to see that. So we go and attack in once here, see what trigger we get. Just a Charming Prince. Charming Prince, one of the more lackluster triggers you can get in here, but even against, it's mono red deck, when you're gaining 3 life and swinging for 2, it's not awful. This Winota can hold down the field for now. So let's see what the opponent decides to go with on this next turn. So they drop down Castle Embereth. They have 5 mana now, so they can play Obosh if they'd like to. Let's see what they got for us. So they play Obosh. So now they can do... So if I don't block here, then Chandra dies. And I figure since I have another Winota, I might as well do this. So play another Winota down. And it's nice because it gets rid of their Scorch Spitter. Now with them tapped out, we can make 2 Elementals here. Let's see what the triggers have for us. So trigger. We have a Kenny coming down. And an Elite Guardmage. Not too bad. Kenrith against mono red. Super, super good. One of the ones I'm always pretty happy to find here. So they assign blocks on one of the Elementals. Take a good amount of damage here. We still have this Charming Prince held back. No reason to attack with Charming Prince because it doesn't trigger Winota, so it's more of just a trump blocker in these kind of matchups. You'll notice here, I've already added parts of this. There's some long pauses in between here, so they get a Phoenix of Ash to come down, which is actually pretty frustrating because that can come down, I can't block it, and it kills Chandra. They could also swing her face because they've proved they like to do that, so let's see what they got here. So they swing Phoenix of Ash at Chandra. Obosh looking like it's only going to go to her. Now Obosh isn't going anywhere. They got to watch out for their life total too. Chandra down. We have no triggers for Winota right now, which is a bit unfortunate. But we have 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 power on board. However, they follow up the 2 1-drops here, so we can't really attack in too much, which is not cool, man. So I'm looking here. We have the Legion Warboss. We can play this Warboss and haste it out, which is pretty sweet. We could also chuck something to get rid of it. Let's see what we end up doing here. Kenrith is also an option because we can Kenrith just gain 5 life or 10 life a turn, which is also pretty nice. But we gotta start putting a battlefield down here pretty soon. So Hallowed Fountain coming in tapped. This is where we're playing the thinking game here, just trying to figure out what we do. We decided to pass a turn. I've got 5 mana held up. And I did 5 mana instead of 6 because I'm playing on I'm hoping they're going to go to combat with this Phoenix of Ash, and if that's the case, I could just stomp it down. However, we have this Elite Guardmage in the air that also just blocks it, so we're fine there too. Figure let them go to combat first, let them do the combat math, and then see how we can mess them up from there. And obviously, the Orgo looks pretty rude here, but time was ticking down quite a bit there. And they Orgo me earlier. So they swing here, 3 critters swinging. And I got some pretty good looking blocks here, honestly. They only have 1 card we don't know about. So Elite Guardmage blocking the Phoenix of Ash, that's a gimme. I decided to put the Kenny on the Fervent Champion. It'll do 4 damage, and they could pump with Castle Embereth, and if they can pump, then I can shoot it down. However, since they don't pump here, I go ahead and have to stomp it now, because if they did the 4 damage here and then just finish off the shock, then that's just an awful trade for me. So even though I would like to wait until early, until later on, you got to use that stomp now just to play it safe. So stomp on the Fervent Champion. So get that out of here. Totally fine with Charming Prince and Scorch Spitter trading, if that's the case. Not a big deal. So trades all around there. They still have 1 card we don't know of. Curious of what that would be. So they played Bonecrusher here. Figure end of turn. Let's go ahead and just gain 5 life. Why not? Let's go up to 18. Let's go. So Raise the Alarm here is actually a pretty sweet draw to Kenrith because that's 2 triggers and we can haste it out. So I decide, let's play the Warboss. Let's play Raise the Alarm. And I don't know, I'm going to give everything haste and trample. And the opponent scoops it up. I guess they knew that 4 triggers was probably not going to end very well for him, even though we had 2 agent in hand. Sideboard wise here against Mono Red. Red Cap Melee comes in, False Shoal. Scorching Dragonfire comes in, and the Spicy Little Cub Warden's coming in. Aether Gust. So Aether Gust is good because obviously it hits everything in their deck, but it's like not a big deal. Just return little 1-drops to their hand. So we go to make some cuts here. Cut 2 Chandra. Chandra's not too great here. Agent of Treachery is much of, it's a great hit off Winota. It's just a little bit slow. We cut some Warboss because it gets shocked by everything. So we're at 60 cards now. Anything else we want to do? We'll cut 1 more Agent. Add 1 more Chandra back. So I'm just playing cut roulette here, but we end up going with this. Let's see how it goes. So game number 2 against Say what? On the draw here, 2 lands. We got some good hate cards here in our hand. We still have Raise Alarm on too if we need to do that. Pretty solid looking hand, so we keep that. Opponent starts with a Mountain and a 10 Street Dodger. We'll throw this Triome down. Pass the turn. Hope to start picking up lands here. We got some good cards in hand. It's just a matter if we need to draw into something. So 10 Street Dodger coming down. And Fabled Champion, so no problem. Just turn 2, 3 hasty creatures. No big deal. So we get a Temple, but we really want to hold up this Raise Alarm here. Because if I go to combat, like say if they play a 3-drop here, this Raise Alarm just trades for 2 of their 10 Street Dodgers, and we feel really good about that. So they pass with attacks, and we go ahead, raise the alarm here. Now they have the option to pay the 2 mana to make their Dodgers unblockable and save them. But if that's most of their turn, then we're pretty cool with that. So let's see what the opponent does. And if they do that, I can also double block the Fabled Champion. But, if they have any kind of other spell, again, that's just kind of a blowout on our end. So would rather not do that. Like if I have to keep investing 2 mana a turn just to attack with these Dodgers, that's fine with me. So they pump both of those up. Cool deal there. Fabled Champ getting in for 1. 10 Street Dodgers, 1/1 as well. So we draw the Winota. That's pretty good to see. Just got to get some triggers for it there. Sacred Foundry, that's land number 4. That's what we need. So from here, I'm not really interested in blocking anymore. I would much rather just hold up my little tokens so I can get my Winota triggers if possible. So they play Heraldic Banner here, which is pretty rough to be honest, because now we can't double block the Fabled Champ anymore if we wanted to. And they can pay and make 1 of those unblockable. So they send 1 Dodger in and a Fabled Champion. Figure might as well just use a Scorching Dragonfire here. Red Cat Melee both being cheaper and a little bit more power is better for us. So and there's some there's some rationale to saving that Scorching Dragonfire for an Annex, but oh well. Opponent tapped out now, so let's swing 2. What do the triggers got for us? Charming Prince. Hooray, we gained 3 life. And Kenny. Now we do like to see that. So opponent's down to 11. If they have 1 more land here, and again, you see my very skillful editing. Time's running down again. They're in the Think Tank. They get to swinging. I could block 1 of these 10 Street Dodgers. But, we're taking 4 here, and I can start gaining 5 life per turn with Kenrith, so no need to risk Winota dying. They just play Bonecrusher Giant. What else do they have? Okay. So here we got a few options. We can Legion Warboss, we can Red Cat Melee, the Bonecrusher Giant. We can play Elite Guardmage just to gain some life. Now, we're going to take 2 from this, but I'd rather get rid of this before the Obosh comes down, or else that 2 damage becomes 4 damage to our face just for targeting it. So we go to 4 here. And I'm deciding, should I play Legion Warboss or not? It ends up being a good call not to, because they Red Cat Melee on the Winota. But I still have this 3 mana for the Kenrith activation, so that was kind of good on my part, I think, just to play it safe and not play the Legion Warboss. Like, obviously that puts a good clock on them, but our life total is at 4 here, we gotta be pretty careful. So now I'm just kind of thinking, what do I need to do attack-wise? Can send in Kenrith, leave the other things back as blockers. But, I don't know, it's just iffy. End up swinging 7, because I feel like I still need to put a good clock on them. They have them down to 4 as well now. And this way, I'm still clocking them pretty good, but still also leaving us the cushion of our life total here. They obviously missed on lands again, it looked like. Not that they could attack those 10 Street Dodgers anyways. So they play Grim Initiate, which is a pretty annoying blocker. Once again, they're paying that life. Now, I am pretty curious as to why they didn't attack with both of those things. But definitely want to do this before before they hit us with a dodger, because if they hit us for 2 and then we try to gain the 3, they could respond by stomping us or shocking us or something like that. So we go to 7 here, pass a turn. Now we have them at 4. We're in a rough spot now because 2 of their things have first strike, so our attacks get really, really weird, and we can't afford to swing out too heavily because they can just get us. So I figure here I could either gain 3 life, or I could gain 5 life with the Kenrith, or I could play this Guardmage just to get a body down and draw a card. We get a Fabled Passage, which actually is pretty interesting. So I crack this Fabled Passage. It's nice to get an untapped source of whatever we need here. Go grab a Mountain, so that way I can also play the 1 more life and swing with this Elite Guardmage if I want to. Because that's got us some life. This is able to get us up to, we're up to 10 life now. Could attack with everything. I'm thinking about it. But no matter what, like, they can block and we take them down to 1. And if we're only taking them down to 1 and not killing them, that's just not good enough. Then I decide maybe swinging the Kenrith, but that's not a good call either. So I decide just play it safe, hold back for now. We got chump blockers for days. So we just swing in the flyer, get them down to 2. So that way next turn if they don't do anything, we have this Elite Guardmage just to take over and win. So they had a shock, which I feel like they've had for most of the time there. So they're top decking now. They get the land. They play the Obosh. Oh gosh, it's Obosh. And from here we know the game is over. So easy trades with these 10 tree dodgers. The Grim Initiate for every chant can combine for 8 damage, which is, 8 damage is less than 10. So yeah, let them have that. No blocks. We finally draw the Cub Warden, which I'd like to mutate on with, but we don't have any non-humans anyway. So there we go. We get the win. Jeskai Winota. Let's play another. Game 2 against Baki. Oh my god, Baki. Playing against Yorion, which is everyone's favorite deck in Standard. It's a joke. It's not. I hate that deck. Start off here, Temple of Triumph, and we find our 4th land here. This hand's gas, by the way. We get turn 2, Raise the Alarm, turn 3, Chandra, turn 4, Winota. That's pretty good. So, turn 2 here, decide to kind of withhold all the information I can here so we don't show any blue sources right now. So, Temple of Triumph, they shock in here, figure let's end the turn by playing a Raise the Alarm. And then from here we got some options. We can Steam Vents, tapped, and play another Raise the Alarm, which probably isn't a terrible idea. Decide let's get Chandra down, because if this is a Yorion matchup, Chandra's probably pretty good against it. So we play Chandra. Waiting. We draw an Agent of Treachery, which I'm obviously mad about, and they play Tail's End. Main deck Tail's End, honestly, not a bad meta call at all. Can't even hate it, but it really gets us there. So, what a surprise, 80 card deck finding their very specific answer they need on turn 2. They play a Temple here, and I'm kind of glad they use a Tail's End because that means they don't have an answer for Winota, we hope. So, figure, let's see. No need to wait around. They're at 2 mana. Let's go ahead and play Winota. If they got an answer, they got an answer. So Winota down. Trigger. Hoping to find some Agent of Treacheries. We get a Kenny. Always finding these Kennies, but I'm not going to complain about that too much. And then we could use another Winota, but decide to go with an Elite Guardmage here. Not the best with triggers, but still it's enough. I guess they didn't have the board wipe in hand, so we get there game 1. Beating Yorion. So sideboard-wise here, we bring in Mystical Disputes, we bring in Disdainful Strokes, and we bring in Aether Gust. The rest of these, not too great. 8 cards to remove here. How do we do it? 4 Bonecrusher Giant coming out. Not a great Winota trigger usually, and we're not going to be stomping much things in this deck, so Bonecrusher is a pretty easy one to take out. But the other ones here are kind of hard cuts to make. And honestly, I probably should have edited this out because you're just going to watch me struggle with sideboarding. But I take out 2 Chandras here. I probably put him back in at some point. I don't remember how I was out of this, for being honest. 2 Guardmage. Then I feel like we always do this. We always take the Chandra out and then throw it right back in. But I figure the Chandra's a little bit harder to deal with than the Elite Guardmage, so we go with that. So game 2 against Baki. We got lands. We have a Mystical Dispute. We have Winota. Let's go. So we'll play our Triome on turn 1. Pass a turn. They play a Breeding Pool. Turn 2, they play an Island and go ahead and Omen of the Sea, main phase. So here I can shock in and hold up Aether Gust and Mystical Dispute. Not that I'm too afraid here on 3, so decided to just play this trial or this Steam Vents tap pass a turn. They play Euro here, but honestly, I feel like when that deck's ramping, it's just a little bit scary. So I decided to Mystical Dispute that. That could be a bad move, but I really don't want them having any kind of access to ramp and all that kind of stuff. So we play a Chandra here and get it down safely. Get to swinging. But now we're in a kind of awkward spot because now we've used our Mystical Dispute and they probably have an answer held up for Winota this next turn. Questing Beast, so for Chandra, going goodbye. And maybe this is a lesson to learn here, that if you're just going to be swinging 2 anyway and they have a deck where they can play something like Questing Beast, we just use the 0 and get the Chandra to 5 like we did against Mono Red. So here we can play Winota, however, it's pretty sad that we can't get any triggers off of it. Because had I just put the 0'd and then get to swing on my 2 tokens this time, because the Chandra would have been at 1, there's a great possibility we could have just taken 2 of their land, taken a Questing Beast, something like that. So since I've got this other Winota, I'm not really sure what I want to do, if I want to take this or not. I figure I have an okay chance of drawing us some triggers for this, so I decided just not block for now. However, we draw a Temple Triumph. Don't have a whole lot going on right now, so play the Temple, bottom Steam Vents. Now I decide I'm going to swing and see if they want to trade, because at this point I actually do kind of want to trade, so I can just play another Winota down. So opponent trades was interesting. I don't think that's the right call. And I end up going to Elite Guardmage instead because I feel like I need to find some kind of answer. But they have the dispute. They had the dispute for whatever we played there anyways, so it is what it is. They also decided to Shark Typhoon and cycle, so now they have some more of a clock coming at us here. It's a pretty rough spot for us. They shock in, go to 14. Swing 2, get us down to 8. And Yorion's coming down. Not a very high impact Yorion, though. All they can do is just blink it over into the sea here. But even still, a 4/5 for 5 is flying and gets to make you draw 2 or scry 2 and draw a card. Not too shabby. So they bottom 2 there. That's good for us. Charming Prince. Not so charming in this spot. So I had to go and just pack it up here. No reason. I mean, they have 6 damage coming in the air, and we have little to nothing we can do here. You know, the beauty of this deck is it gets to kind of go be straightforward, do its thing, but the bad part is when you need some interaction, you're probably not going to find much of it. Sideboard here, the Gust actually felt pretty odd and weak there, so I'll take them out. When you have 2 cards to put back in, so I'd put more Guardmages in there, just a way to draw cards. If we do get Winota down, this is more of a trigger, so we go with this. So game 3, we'll take the play. Opener, I mean, that's a great opener. This Charming Prince on 2 allows us to scry if we need to. Turn 3 Legion Warboss. I mean, this is kind of hand that can kind of start taking over a game even without the Winota coming down. Now, we have an Agent in hand, which obviously isn't very cool. But it happens. So here I can play the Charming Prince, but I really want to make sure. I'm debating on what to do. If I play the Charming Prince here, there's a chance that Temple really screws us up on our mana. But I figure I can play this Charming Prince and scry, and basically I'm just looking for 1 untapped land here. Agent of Treachery and Disdainful Stroke. The Stroke one's hard. Like, Agent of Treachery is an easy bottom, but Disdainful Stroke is a little bit more difficult. I decided to bottom both of those, hoping my risk pays off here. We grab a Chandra, so we're kind of going all in here to really hope that we can get an untapped land this next turn. But again, even if we don't, we can play a Temple and play Legion Warboss, and we're still kind of forced to answer something here. And now if we have a board wipe or a Deafening Clarion or something like that, it's not super good. We're swinging 4 a turn at him here. But we're in a good spot right now. We got Chandra down producing value. We have the Charming Prince still swinging in a little bit. So they pass the turn here, obviously holding up something. Draw the Fabled Passage. I decided to make these tokens first just to kind of see what they're going to do. And I feel like, yeah, let's just play the Legion Warboss here because they want to burn a counter on that, and that's a counter they can't use on Winota later. And they did have the counter, they had the Mystical Dispute, so since they do that, we go ahead and play the Temple here. Don't you know the land? It's iffy because that's land number 6 and we're getting close to that 7 mana to hardcast Agent of Treachery. But that's just not how this deck wins. So we get them down to 12. See what they do here. See if they follow up the Questing Beast again and make us sad. Opponent taking a long gander at that Fabled Passage. They find the perfect land. It's an island. So they pass the turn here, again holding up stuff. So now I'm not sure what to do. I could play... I'm thinking of maybe cycling this Triome. We have decisions to make here, though. So I'd go ahead and force it out. Let's just play this Winota, make them have an answer. It may get Mystical Disputed here, but at least this Fabled Passage kind of represents what could be a possible Mystical Dispute. So let's see what they got for us. Clock going down again. Masterful editing. We have to give him the Yorgo. We're just being that guy, you know? They frilled Mystic. And that's what's irritating. I mean, it's Winota. Why would you... What's there to think about there, you know? Unfortunately, we do not draw the Mystical Disputes. The 80-card deck, they draw their Mystical Disputes all the time they need it. But this regular 60-card one, nah. That ain't happening. So here I decided to just make some tokens anyways. Now swing all here, which is honestly a little bit ballsy. But I want to get a clock on them, get them down to the single digits here. And it may be better to leave the Charming Prince down, but I figured that Frilled Mystic can only attack for 3 anyways. So and if they have a haster, this Chandra's going to die regardless. So let's see what they do here. Play an island. Attack Chandra. Chandra down to 1. Pass the turn. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About to be 6 lands down. I just keep on swinging. I mean, if they're not going to do anything right now, yeah, if we get them down to 5. At this point, we're going to lose the Chandra pretty soon, but I feel like that's okay anyway, because they're about to do some Yorion things here. So Omen of the Sea coming down in stab means they're probably going to Yorion this next turn. They bottom 2 there. You like seeing that. I have this Triome I can cycle too. We'll see what happens. And unfortunately, they send in the Brazen Bar, which we haven't seen in any of these games either. So I'm glad I attacked with that Charming Prince, because I would have felt pretty bad if I left it back as a blocker and they just Brazen Barred anyway. So opponent's got 4 cards in hand we don't know of. They swing at the Chandra. And they even swing. They send in Frilled Mystic at us. That doesn't seem like a good attack. But I think they wanted to make sure that, you know, I held up this mana. So I think they wanted to make sure that Chandra got removed. Decided to cycle this Triome here. We get an untapped land. Raise the Alarm, not too shabby. So I can attack here for 2, get them down to 3. And I've got a good plan here. I can, you know, obviously I can play Agent of Treachery, but they have a mountain of mana open. So I figured let's start off by attacking for 2 here. They take it, it gets them down to 3. We'll go ahead and play this Hallowed Fountain tapped. That way we can hold up this Raise the Alarm. And our goal here is for them to hopefully counter the Raise the Alarm. Just to get whatever counterspell they may have out of the way. I'm also just hoping they Yorion here. If they Yorion, that pretty much taps them out, and then we get this Agent of Treachery down safely. So, opponent swings in with the Brazen Borrower, since it can't block anyways. Leave the Frilled Mystic back. In a turn, Raise the Alarm. So now we got the Warboss here. Warboss is lethal if they don't have an answer because it makes no other token, and no matter how they block, they're still getting 3 damage to the face. So, Warboss coming down. Warboss is into the battlefield, folks. I'm ready to go to combat. However, they're looking at that Warboss. Warboss has left the battlefield. So I could replay the Warboss again here, but I don't know. I just feel like they may have something else, like another counterspell or something. So I figure for now, if I can get them down to 1, that's still in a pretty good spot. Still force them to have some answers. I can play this Warboss next turn, or on the next main phase. So I feel, second main phase, go ahead and throw it down now. Again, just keep applying this pressure, make them tap out and use their counter spells. And they Mystical Dispute once again. You hate to see it. Hate to see them. And honestly, that was probably not the right call. The same result would have happened, but I should have just played that Legion Warboss again, made them have it there. So, Storming Ground has to come in tapped. They play Yorion. They can bounce their Omen of the Sea here, but otherwise nothing really too exciting to bounce. And at this point, they only have 2 cards left in hand. So at this point, I'm in a place where I still have lethal on board. They have to have some kind of answer. But I think we got this because we only need 1 attacker to get through, and now we have that mana to Agent of Treachery. So even if they have a counter for the Agent of Treachery, then that means our tokens get through. So let's play Agent down. They don't have a counter. Let's take this pesky blocker out of the way. Goodbye, Yorion. GG's. Jeskai Winota getting there. Let's go ahead. Let's play one more game. It's game 3 against Pale of Awesome. I think we had to play like all 3 of these games, so that's pretty sweet. This opener, also decent in the dark. I think we keep this. We can play this Fabled Passage to start off with and grab us a blue source since we currently don't have one. Alseid of Life's Bounty. When I saw Lurrus, that is not what I was thinking. So there's been the mono whitelist going around, and that's what this ends up being here. So curious to see how this matchup can go. Here, need a white source, so I can play the Charming Prince now, or I can raise the alarm on instep. Block the Alseid. I feel like that's what I'll do here. So, play Plains. Sentinel's Eyes make this pretty awkward, because I could still double block with the raise the alarm now. But the double block's weird because they still have a mana open. So I decided not to do that because if I double block and then they just use Caramaster's Blessing or something to pump that Alseid, it feels really, really bad. So turn 3, we're drawing into all our goodies here. We just need to find us a Winota now. So we'll play the Legion Warboss because we don't have a lot of ways of protecting our Chandra if we do things. So for now, we just send this Legion Warboss in there, which feels kind of bad because that's a lifelink critter they have over there. So they just get a free game 2 there from us, which is pretty nice. And now we're in a rough spot because we don't have Winota, or we don't have a 4th land, so it's a little bit awkward for us here. All the glitters on the Alseid makes it a 5/5 Vigilance lifelink. Pretty disgusting. Decided to go ahead and chump block here. They're up to 29 now. And they just keep on holding up that mana. So we play the Triome here. I'll play the Charming Prince, and I'm just looking for a Winota at this point. Because that's our main chance of winning here. So we'll scry 2. Right on top, it's Winota. And that was actually really stupid of me to bottom that Agent of Treachery because I could have left it there on the top, so that way when the trigger went off, we would have had that there. So that was just, I can't even begin to defend that, to be honest with you. So Glaring Aegis comes down, tapping a Charm Prince. Glaring Aegis coming down once again. This Alseid is doing work. Say swing 9. I take it. We go to 7. They go to 43. My idiot self, of course, we have the Winota here, but we didn't keep that Agent of Treachery on top for some reason. Honestly, they probably have some kind of protection spell for that Alseid anyways. So I decided to swing 2. Now let's go ahead and swing 3. Let's just do it. So first we got to do the little mentor here. Mentor on the Goblin. Whiff. We had something on top there, but we deserve to lose the game for bottoming that. Elite Guardmage can come in games 3 here, which is okay. But their clock really doesn't matter right now. Triome in hand, and then we get another Guardmage, so we gain 6 here. Here I am whining about this Agent of Treachery, even though I goofed and bottom one in the first place. So we get them down to 38 and they go up to 45. Nice. Play a trial untapped and pass the turn. So we have this Charming Prince back to block. Winota really don't want to block with because we don't have an extra one in hand. So unfortunately they play another, that's like their third Glaring Aegis of the game. So they have 11 here. If they swing, I can either block it and lose Winota, or I can risk it and just hope they don't have a way to pump it. So they swing 11. I decide no blocks here, and I'm well aware if they have any kind of like Karamesh's Blessing or some kind of instant, we die. But I feel like we have no way of winning otherwise, so of course they have it. They do 13. GG. Their linear deck beat our linear deck. It happens. So game number 2, sideboard wise against them. This is an interesting one. Scorching Dragonfires come in here. But that's really about all we can do. These kind of decks, you just want to answer them early before they can really hold up the protection stuff, because once you do, their creatures are really weak. So here, sideboard out Chandra, sideboard out Erase the Alarm, because it blocks kind of funky, and we sideboard out 2 Elite Guardmage. Bonecrusher Giants also come in. Yeah, we do this right here. So game 2 against Pale Boss, I'm going to see if this one goes a little bit better for us. So this time, we'll be on the play again. Let's not be stupid this time. This hand, pretty good. No interaction to speak of, but Legion Warboss and Winota can be plenty of interaction. At this point, we just need to draw another untapped land. We'll be good to go. They start off with a Healer's Hawk, which is not nearly as intimidating as an Alseid. So Charming Prince here. We're just trying to find an untapped land, baby. We find 2 of them. 2 of them, yeah. So I figure I'll take that island, so that way we can still play our stuff on curve here without having to shock all the way. Next turn, we'll place a Legion Warboss down. So they play another Healer's Hawk. Bam, pass the turn. Here we'll take that island, play Legion Warboss. I have a decision. I can attack with a Charming Prince or not, because they have the 1 mana held up. It's very likely they have Karamesh's Blessing again. But I feel like we can't block that thing anyway, so we might as well just make them have it. If it gets it out of their hand now, that's great. And I think it'd be kind of greedy if opponent Karamesh's Blessing here, because Charming Prince really isn't doing much right now anyways. But they go to block, so obviously they got something. Give it to me, opponent. Let me see it. There it is. Yeah. Would much rather them get rid of that Karamesh's Blessing there compared to using it proactively, so cool beans. They play Healer's Hawk, number 3 of the game, and swing for 2. No land for opponent. So it's turn 4. They got 2 lands. Let's go ahead, play this Winota. We're going to get 1, 2, 3 triggers. We have an Agent of Treachery we just drew, which is unfortunate, but we get 3 triggers here, so let's see how this works. Mentor on the Goblin. Trigger 1, Agent Treachery. That Castle Ardenvale looking mighty fine. Can we have another? They float through white mana, not a big deal. Trigger 2 is a Whiff. Whiffosaurus Rex over here, but trigger 3 is another agent. No lands for you! They don't need no stinking lands. So, they have triple Healer's Hawk, but we have a big, scary Terry Force. They even chump block there, which is kind of strange, but they got nothing. So, easy one there. No sideboard changes to game 3 here. We just got to run this at them again, see how it goes. So, win or lose, we have to take off lands, and that's all you can really ask for in life sometimes, right? This opener, it doesn't have Winota. It has very good Winota activation stuff, but I figure I have this temple, so this temple can maybe help us find some action. We draw land number 4, sorry, land number 5. We have a Bonecrusher on top here, so that's pretty good. This Bonecrusher on the play would be a lot better. They play solid footing here, swing for 2. They still have the mana held up. And now I'm just deciding if I should do this now or if I should wait. So what I do is try to go to main phase 2 here, hoping that they'll burn something here. Maybe flashing Glaring Aegis or something like that. But they don't. So we wait, we play patient. So they have all the glitters. 1 mana. God, I hope they don't have something. They've only got 3 cards in hand. And of course, Karametra's Blessing. They've always got it. So now they're swinging 7. We have 2 lands on the battlefield and they're at 9 life while they're at 29. We can chalk in and play a Warboss, but that's just bad beats. Let's see what they got for us here. Let's see if we have any way out of this. Looking like the likely answer is no. I can play Legion Warboss to block with, but I had this super bright idea that I would play this and uptick it and maybe try to bait them into attacking the Chandra. In hindsight, just don't. However, I feel like we were just dead no matter what. They had a fantastic start. They Karametra's Blessing, swing for 7, GG. Alright, so 2-1 list overall. I hope you enjoyed that post commentary I did there. It's always kind of difficult, but when I recorded it this night, I just was tired and I wasn't feeling it, so I didn't want to give you all something low energy BS. But yeah, 2-1 this list. Things to remember here. This deck is what it is. It's pretty straightforward, not a lot of interaction here, so sometimes that's just going to bite you in the butt. However, when it gets to do its thing, it does its thing, and it's a lot of fun. So hopefully y'all enjoyed this one. This is a fun deck to play. I don't think it's my kind of thing per se, but it's neat. Hope y'all enjoyed. Thanks for the support. Love y'all. Goodbye.